So the next thing I want to cover is the medication cart, and I want to talk about taking care of your cart, organizing your cart, keeping it stocked and ready to go, and doing this with each time you come in, okay? So when you are the medication aide, you are in control of the cart, okay? It is totally your responsibility. So if you're in control of the cart, if you're the medication aide for that day, the keys are yours, okay? So if you pass these keys off to someone else, that needs to be documented, because if medications go missing or something is wrong with the cart, it's going to fall back on you because you were the ones that had the keys that day. So I always want to encourage you. If you're passing medication and the nurse comes up and says, hey, I need the cart keys because I've got to get something out, you can always say, can you just give me a minute and I'll go with you and go and unlock the cart, stay with her while she gets what she needs, and then close it up. The thing is that yes, she's the nurse and yes, she's in charge, but if something goes missing from that cart, whether that's narcotics or whether that's medications or something, that's going to fall back on you legally, because you're the one that was passing meds that day. You were the one that should have had the keys to that cart. And you can stand there and say 15 times, hey, no, that nurse Mary, she asked for the keys and I gave them to her. And she's going to say, no, I didn't take the keys that day. I didn't, So to protect yourself, protect your job, and protect your license, stay in control of the keys, okay? So I'm going to talk about passing medications here. This is our facility. So I'm going to give you what I consider orientation for our facility. Our facility is called Allied Acres, okay? What you need to keep in mind is that other facilities are going to pass medications differently. Their medication cart may be set up differently. The way they do it may be set up differently. But here at Allied Acres, this is how I want you to pass. This is how our drug cart is set up. And so we're going to go through all of that. So at the beginning of every shift, you want to make sure that you have plenty of supplies, that you've got medication cups, you've got your spoons, if you have jellies or applesauces that you require, that you've got those, that you have cups and a pitcher of water. Usually the pitcher is required to be covered with saran wrap or a lid of some sort. You want to make sure you've got some kind of hand sanitizer, something like that. I would certainly recommend that every shift that you come in with a wipe and wipe down the whole cart, wipe down the top, wipe down the handles and stuff, not only for the disinfecting for you, but also just to make sure that there's no residue of medications and stuff on the cart. So I want to make sure that you clean your cart and you're ready to do your job, okay? So I've got my vital signs sheet here. I went around this morning before I started the medication passes, and I wrote all my vitals down. So I have my vitals here so that I know when I come to that person in the medication record that I've got their information. I've got a couple of little notes over here to the side to remind me about some things that I need to remember. So I want to kind of give you an orientation to our cart here at Allied Acres, okay? So big key, big cart, okay? Big key, big cart. So this is the one that's going to open it. When you have to lock the cart, I recommend you just pull the keys and push it in, because you don't have to have the key to push it in, and a lot of times if you leave it in there, by the time you get it out, it opens up again. So just remove the key, put it in your pocket, because you got to keep it with you, and just leave the cart unlocked. So here at Allied Acres, our top drawer of our medication cart, this has a few extra supplies like some spoons and things, but in our cart you're going to find eye drops for a couple of our residents. You're going to find nasal sprays. You're going to find inhalers, insulin pens, and we've got like some KY jelly and stuff here. I always want to demonstrate suppositories, but I never have anybody who wants to volunteer. but we got them if we need them. All right? Okay, so that's our top drawer, all right? Our second drawer contains the resident's medications, okay? And these are in the drawer alphabetically by the resident's last name. Okay, so how did I say they were in the cart? They're in the cart alphabetically by the last name. It becomes amazes me. We've got somebody that's looking for the R's up here at the front of the alphabet. It's like, why would the R's be at the front of the alphabet? So R's here at Allied Acres is the alphabet front to back, okay, by the resident's last name, okay? Also here at Allied Acres, some facilities have your morning meds, your afternoon meds, and your evening medications. Not here. At Allied Acres, all of our medications are behind their name, whether it's morning, afternoon, evening, it doesn't matter. They're going to all be behind the resident's name. So we're going to talk about that when we start doing our medication pass. This little box over here is your narcotic box. Now it's not only for narcotics, it's for any controlled substance. So you want to make sure that you keep any controlled substance locked up. So again, big cart, big key, little box, little key, okay? So the small key here at Allied goes in here for a narcotic box, and it opens it up. Again, if you just want to pull the keys once you've opened it, put them in your pocket. Now, we have our medications in here, because here at Allied we only have 3 residents who are taking either narcotics or controlled substances. Usually your narcotic count sheet would be in a binder like this, and they'd be in there alphabetically by the resident's name or by the medication. And so this is where you would do your drug count every shift. So the medications have to be counted, the narcotics all have to be counted every shift. Whether you've given medication or not, it has to be counted every shift by 2 nurses or 2 medication aides. So we're not going to talk too much about narcotic count because again, that's going to be kind of your facility's regulations. How do they do their narcotic count? When do they do their narcotic count? But we keep our count information sheets in the drawer with the narcotics. It's just easier because we only have 3 residents. So instead of having a separate book, I have them right here. And then there are medications that correspond. That's in the narcotic box. Then all you have to do is shut it and it's locked, okay? Can't go anywhere. Then in our 3rd drawer of our med cart is, we've got some creams and some lotions in here. We've got a few diabetic testing supplies, got an extra blood pressure cuff or 2. I've got some liquid medications in here. I've got stock medications. So when we look at stock medications, this one, and it usually is on the bottle in several places, says stock. Okay, so this is going to be our multivitamin. Okay, so on your state and final exam, it talks about stress tabs and Theragrams. Now we know that those are really, really, really old vitamins, and we now know that it's things like Boost and Ensure and Magic Malts and things like that. But for your state and final, it talks about the Theragrams and the stress tabs. It's a multivitamin supplement, okay? So this is our stock supply of multivitamins, okay? We also have a stock supply of a low-dose aspirin. Again, it says low-dose Bayer aspirin. It's enterically coated. And the little heart, it says the 81 milligrams, so we know the milligram strength on it. Okay, so that's right there. But then we also have something that looks like this. This is what we call a VA medicine, or it's somebody's medication that came in a big bottle instead of in a bubble pack. So this belongs to an individual. So we've got the room number here, we've got their name on it, it's the medication, what it is, the instructions for usage of it. And then again, like I said, this is a specific person's. It's not a stock medication. It belongs to a specific person. It's just in here because it's in a big bottle and it's with those kinds of medications. The bottom drawer of our cart is just extra supplies, wound dressings, a few extra cups, some things like that. So that's what's in our bottom drawer. You may not have to get into it at all. So that's kind of why I go over the first three carts, the first three drawers with you. So, okay, and then I want to go through a medication pass. When you are doing a medication pass, the state of Kansas requires that you do 3 checks, okay? So as I go through each one of those checks, I'm going to tell you what I'm looking for. I'm going to do it verbally out loud, and because I want you to hear what I'm looking for. When you come to pass medications, you don't have to say it out loud if you don't want to. If you feel comfortable doing that and you want to do it, that's perfectly fine. But when I'm doing it, I definitely will say it out loud because I want you to see or hear what am I looking for, okay? So I'm opening up my MAR here, and I'm going to pass medications, first of all, for Mildred Miller, okay? So Mildred Miller is my first resident that I'm going to pass for. And if I look down through the MAR, I've got metformin, I've got methotrexate, I've got gabapentin, metoprolol, I've got Coumadin, Vasotec. Oh, it says I need a blood pressure check every day, and I need a fasting blood sugar. So I'm going to go to my vital sign sheet. I'm going to look up Mildred Miller. Here's Mildred. Mildred's blood sugar is 100. So I'm going to write 100 in here, and I'm going to put my initials right below it. And then it says that she needs a blood pressure. So we're going to find Mildred's blood pressure. Her blood pressure is 114/80. So I'm going to go to the back of the sheet, and I'm going to sign in her blood pressure, which is 114/80. Okay, so I've got that information documented on a legal document. Like I say, if you were doing a computer, you'd have to enter that information in. It will not let you pass the medications until you do enter it in. So we've got our vital signs and our blood sugar documented. Now we're ready to pass for Mildred. Mildred has an allergy to aspirin, penicillin, and she's got some seasonal allergies. So as we pass her meds, we want to kind of keep that in the back of our minds. So I'm going to go to my second drawer here. Mildred, I'm going to start out with what Mildred needs today. Miller, M. So there's a GHM. Okay, there's Mildred. So I found Mildred's medications. So Mildred today, she's going to get a metformin 500 milligrams. She takes it twice a day. So in her case, I'm going to look for the medication, and I'm going to compare the name, Mildred Miller, metformin 500 milligrams PO, metformin 500 milligrams PO twice a day, and it's for her diabetes. Yes, so all of that matches. So I'm going to take this cart and I'm going to lay it aside, okay? Then the next medication, my recommendation is during the learning process until you become more familiar with the medicines. Stay with the med cart or stay with the MAR and go down through it in that order. Don't jump around. It gets confusing. You kind of lose track of where you're at. So this is why I recommend that you do it like that. So the next thing on her list is the methotrexate. So I'm looking through her medication. I pull out her methotrexate, Mildred Miller methotrexate, 2.5 milligrams BID for her arthritis. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. That says evening. So this is her evening dose. That's not her morning one, so I'm going to put that one back. I don't want that. That's her evening dose. Okay? So I'm still looking for that Methotrexate. Where is it at? Okay, there it is. Okay, so again, I'm looking Mildred Miller, Methotrexate, 2.5 milligrams PO BID for her arthritis, and this is the morning dose. So that's correct as well. I'm going to set it aside. The next one on the list is her gabapentin. So I want to find her morning gabapentin. Okay, so again, I'm looking for Mildred Miller, gabapentin, 400 milligrams PO BID for her neuralgia or nerve pain. And this is her morning dose, so I can lay that one up there. The next one on the list is her metoprolol. Okay, so I want to find her metoprolol. There it is, metoprolol. 50 milligrams PO BID for hypertension. And it's Mildred Miller. So yes, Mildred, this is her metoprolol. We're going to lay that aside, okay? Then she has Coumadin on her list. But first of all, if you read it, it says Coumadin 3 milligrams PO Q evening. And the time is also 2000, okay? So it's at 8 o'clock at night. This isn't a medication I'm given in the morning. So I'm not going to give the Coumadin. I'm going to skip down to the next one. It says Vasotec 10 milligrams PO daily in the morning, AM. And it also says 8 o'clock here, so I know that that's a morning med. So I'm looking for her Vasotec. And here it is. Mildred Miller, Vasotec, 10 milligrams, PO daily for peripheral vascular disease. Okay, so I've got her Vasotec, and I also going to lay that up there. All right, so I've pulled all of Mildred's morning medications. That's not easy to say. In the cart, sometimes we have really, really messy med aids, and they get evening and mornings all mixed up. So when you're pulling those medications, I really want you to pay attention to that you're pulling the medicine for morning and not evening, okay? So I always want you to make sure you're reading that card completely. So now I have Mildred's morning medications out. So that was my first check, is as I pulled them out of the drawer. Then if I pick this whole stack up and turn it over, it's back in order, okay? So again, here at Allied, this is how I want you to pass the medications. There are other ways to do it, but I'm trying to keep everybody kind of on the same plate, that we're all doing the same thing, and there's less chance of confusion or missing something. So you're going to pick up your med cup and you're going to put it on your cart. Again, I don't want to see you fumbling around with that cup, sticking your fingers in it, nothing like that, okay? I want you to pick out a cup, turn it up, and put it here. So I'm going to start, this is my second check. So remember, the state requires 3 checks, so this is my second check. So I've got my medication cup, and I'm going to go down through these again. Mildred Miller, I'm looking, Mildred Miller, metformin, 500 milligrams, PO, BID, and there's an 8 o'clock dose, so I'm going to pop that out. So my recommendation for popping out medications is to hold the cup and the card together and push it out, just like that, okay? We'll go over that and discuss why we do that. So this is Mildred Miller's metformin, 500 milligrams. I popped it out. I'm going to sign it. Okay, so right across from the 8 o'clock dose, I'm going to put my initials. So the next medication that I have is Mildred Miller's. This is her Methotrexate, 2.5 milligrams PO BID, 8 o'clock dose. Yep, this is her morning dose, so that's the one I'm going to pop out. Again, I'm going to hold my cup and card together, pop it out, lay it aside, and sign it. Okay, So I want you to get in that habit of popping and signing. I tell people, pop and sign, pop and sign. Because if you're doing it on the computer, you go pop and click, pop and click. So I want you to make sure that you're doing pop and sign, pop and sign. It just keeps the flow in some sort of order. So the next medication I have is Mildred Miller's. Yes, Mildred Miller's. It's her gabapentin, 400 milligrams, PO, BID. She has a morning dose scheduled. I have the morning card for her meds. So I can pop this one out. Again, card and cup together. Pop it out, lay it aside, pop and sign, right? Pop and sign. So her next one on my list is the metoprolol, 50 milligrams, PO, BID. Okay, so this is Mildred Miller. And it is her metoprolol, 50 milligrams, BID. She gets an 8 o'clock dose. This is her morning one. So I can go ahead and pop it out. Pop it out, lay it aside, and sign it. Okay? So you're signing one right after the other. Then the next one is that Coumadin. Remember, we're not giving it because it's an evening dose. And we're passing morning meds. So we want to make sure we go to the next one, which is the Vasotec. So I've got Mildred Miller, matching it up, Mildred Miller, Vasotec, 10 milligrams, PO, daily in the morning. So this isn't twice a day, it's only once a day. So this is the right one. This is Mildred's Vasotec. So I can go ahead and pop that out, lay it aside, and I'm going to sign. Okay? So right there is my signature for that. All right, so I've got our medications popped. I can look down through here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 signatures, and I have 5 pills. It's an easy way to make sure you're accurate, that you didn't miss something. Okay? So now I'm picking up the stack of medications again. This is my third check. So you want to do the third check as you put the medications away. Now there's several ways you can do this, and I'm going to leave it totally up to you, but you need to go through them. Okay, you've got Mildred Miller, you've got metformin, 500 milligrams. Okay, you've got Mildred Miller, methotrexate, 2.5 milligrams. That's her morning dose. You've got her gabapentin, 400. That's her morning dose. You've got Mildred Miller, you've got her metoprolol, 50 milligrams, and then you've got her Vasotec, 10 milligrams PO/BI daily, okay? So I have all of her medications. That's my third check, and I can put them all away, okay? I'm going to put them all behind her name. Now, if you want to turn these cards backwards, that's up to you. I don't care how you put them back in the drawer. Your facility may say every time you pass a med, you put it in backwards. Some may say just turn them the right way all the time. So that's a way to do it, or you can do it like this. You can start at the top and you can say Mildred Miller, this is her metformin, 500 milligrams, and put that one card back in the drawer. Then do the next card, methotrexate, 2.5, BID, Mildred Miller, and put that one in the card. Gabapentin, Mildred Miller, 400 milligrams, PO/BID. Okay. Got Mildred Miller again. Metoprolol, 50 milligrams for her hypertension, and it's a morning dose. And there's her Vasotec. Mildred Miller, Vasotec, 10 milligrams, just once daily. And that is for her peripheral vascular disease. So that's my 3 checks. So you can do 3 checks like this and go ahead and look at the name and the medications like that, and then just stick the whole batch in here, or you can review them one at a time and put them back. What I don't want to see you do is I don't want to see you, hey, you pop these meds, you got them all in your cup, you got them all signed, and I don't want you to just pick up that stack and shove them in the drawer. That's a big no-no. State comes through and they see you do that, you will lose your job, okay? It's a big ding. It's not a good thing. You want to always make sure you're doing those 3 reviews. So you take them out of the cart and you look at them, you pop them and read them, and then you look at them and then put them back in the drawer. So 3 reviews when you are dispensing medications. So now I have Mildred's medications for her. So when you go to her room, here at Allied, we have the tables. Each one of those is like a resident's room. So we consider that they've got their own water in there. They probably have a pitcher of water and stuff. And we take medications to the resident's room. We don't take them to the dining room or anything else. We take them to the resident's room and hand them to them. So when you go in, I want you to knock. Good morning, Mildred. How are you this morning? Oh, I'm glad to hear that you're doing so well. Hey, I've got your morning medicines for you. Oh, that blue pill? Oh no, that's your metformin. Yeah, I think they changed the color on it. The doctor, they may have changed the company. I don't know. But yeah, that blue pill, that's your metformin now. So, okay, yep, and those are your rest of your normal medicines. So I'm going to leave those with you. I want you to take those for me, okay? And you want to make sure that Mildred takes the medication. Do not leave it set. Do not leave it set anywhere, whether it's on a table or whether that's in their room. You want to observe them taking the medication. Okay? So you want to make sure that Mildred takes her pills, which she does. We can get rid of the cup. Okay? And then I'm going to go on to the next person and pass medication so that you get another view of the next one that we're going to do.